So about the Vikings, um, I'm not watching any of the behind the scenes, reading the blogs, or storyboards, whatever about it. It's just my own personal opinion about the show and what I'm watching and what I'm watching. Present him as a man. Present everybody as a person, as a family man. I did hear that from the interview with Michael Hirst, one of the behind the scenes that was put out by History Channel. So in family, and see Ragnar's situation, and I'm going to assume that Ragnar becomes an atheist towards the end of what we're seeing in his life. And there's also poisoning, right? Because I think that's something. Anyways, but he becomes a man who recognizes the futility of his life, and it's not even that. It's what's his life's purpose? Wife, children, and the interesting stoic, emotional when you need to be nature. So if we take it that, well, these people, are like today's Scandinavian people, like, how do you live? Well, you survive the winter, and so that's a certain personality. Because you have to live in close quarters with people, so you just develop, and if you're a stranger, like the respect. So part of why I wanted to make this video is to understand what was the role of the king for these people. So you're recognized as the king, and why? How? Through subterfuge or personal combat. And it's oh man, how does he take power from what's his name? Because it's the land and men you control and own, and then the alliances you can get from others. So that's why Lagertha, can take and assume command of Kattegat. Yeah. Anyways, what's going on with Ragnar? The madness. I'm thinking that he becomes king and he decides, all right, well, these my actions are going to be the story that people are going to tell. I've achieved, the greatness. I have, this amazing wife, who I love, who loves me. I have, a child. I can, do sorts of great stuff with the children. They have farms. They have, sort of like I control people and property, and people rely on me. I'm important. I'm an important man in the community. And then challenge from the Earl, torturing his brother, and he's like, well, he wasn't trying to get into a situation, but now he finds himself, I have to, fight and defeat the Earl. It's like, how do I do that? Yeah. It's because you get to the point where you realize, bury gold for your afterlife. And that's why he ends up digging up his own gold. He becomes king. He realizes that the only way he can maintain power is just to sort of control people fighting, saying I'm about to fight, leading them. And proving yourself as prosperous. So, but you're known for your conquest. So the more you're conquering, the greater your legend, the more people talk about you, which is great. But at the same time, it's you have to lead the battle. You have to be part of it. And really understand what's going on with your men. How they're fighting. How to protect them, keep them safe. it's great how Lagertha is, military commander, like, yeah, the difference between the queens, and that's why people will get behind her, because they know this is who Lagertha is. And how can she get away with it? Because she's the wife of Ragnar. So, oh man, the and thank you, History Channel, for like figuring out how to film the armies, like and the fighting. Like, good job on the fighting and keep it up. Like, oh yeah, if you gotta make it bigger and or do whatever, like, yeah. Um, but it's like, so how do you live as the king? How do you? And I think that the injuries, traveling, he's going to catch illness from wherever he goes, um, and the idea that the Vikings they're living in a perpetual drug trip, in some ways, and it's um, man, and you just see how often like he's just eating mushrooms, so but. And then with Rollo, man, so it blows me away.